So I just released a video telling about how you can live without an internet using just your natural instincts versus algorithms and social media, and how it creates a meaningful life altogether. Especially it attracts people into your life, but only those who resonate deeply with you and your purpose and your just the vibrations of your life at the moment. So you don't call anybody or text anybody. They just somehow came across your pathos and you just meet them. They just appear from from nothingness into reality, into existence. So they just materialize in front of you. And how can you compare something that materializes from nothingness into your world and you can immediately interact? You can hug these people, you can relate to them fully. How can this even be compared to texting and sending those video circles? And I was meeting people, and occasionally at some moment I was saying, I just released a video and here is what it's telling about. And I was telling about this biverse versus metaverse. And one guy, he asked me, so why do you think biverse is better? And this question really made me think, because when somebody asks you bluntly, it makes you wonder yourself. So what I answered him was actually so unexpected for myself, especially for me, that I think this is channeling, and this came from the upper realms of mind. So here it is. I told him that, if you look at the neural networks and how our mind works, I said, very broadly speaking, everything you experience right now, like me, the other guy, we all are the part of your experience. This is all in your head. So this is what you need to start from. And he said, what do you mean in your head? You mean quantum physics? And I said, oh, forget about quantum physics. It's fundamentally more simple and actually more deep than this. So I told him, your neurons, they create neural networks, and these neural networks are looking like a cone with a very sharp tip, and then they progressively get thicker and thicker and end up in a large circular base. It's like a pyramid, and this cone or an octagon or something, it's not like straight out round, but the idea is that there is a tip, and on this tip there is very few neurons, and this small neural power, it only creates predictions. So our surface level mind is a prediction machine. So it engage only very small number of neurons to create a prediction. And if it fails, then it engages deeper layer and tries to figure out further. And that's very primitive way of living. So you never intentionally engage on a deep levels. You just surface. So the metaverse, the technological part of life, only engages with this surface level of our minds. But actually, our real experience in the biverse happens throughout this cone. So the entirety of this pyramid is engaged. And when you go down the pyramid, every next level is broader and broader. And eventually, not only mind, but also all of our senses, which are a lot, they get woven into the play. And that's how we feel the reality versus the dream. And when I was saying that, I touched him and said, you see, if you can touch, it means you don't sleep. It's not a dream, it's real. That's how we test whether it's a dream or it's a reality. You pinch yourself or touch something. Because in the dream, the neural networks, they don't engage so deep of this conical neural structure of your mind that senses are not available there on this higher level, on this tip of the iceberg. Doesn't calculate the sensual information. It only calculates the mental one. So it's just a prediction. And this metaverse, this digital world, algorithms, AI, these messengers, these social networks, they all operate only on this mental level, which is just a prediction. That's why LLMs, they only predict the shit. They don't know. But the actual story behind all of that is that anyways, this all happens in our mind, just on the different levels of it. So when you feel like something real, you touch it, it means in fact. And I'm not watering down the essence of life, which is profoundly deep and playful and joyful and scary and all that. But still, this all happens in our mind. So, if the biverse is about our mind and the metaverse is about very narrow, very surface level of this whole thing, I mean, it will go deeper and it will eventually touch our senses and all of that. But anyway, it's just a copy of the mind. It's nothing profoundly deep. And what I didn't tell him, but I kind of tell him that the whole thing is spirituality. Because spirituality goes beyond mind. So we can make a digital copy of a mind, also the copy of the senses. Eventually they will copy all our senses eventually, and not far away in the future. But still, it's just a copy of something which is already manufactured. It's not real. So bringing it all back to the truth, which is spirituality, that's where you see the boundless depth. It's just the mind is just a small part of it, a small computer file in this universe of mind. Namaste.